people go to a psychiatrist, a psychologist, types of therapists, various counselors, in order to fix a particular problem. High anxiety, some sort of void that is lacking, that they can never fill, no matter what activities they do, whether it is trying to falsely fill your life with things that don't matter, like alcohol, drugs, sex, whatever it is to fill the emptiness that many of us have felt in our lifetimes. Here, part of our practice is to have individual and group sessions. And Gil is with us today, who performs a lot of these, and he is fascinating. This video is only for people that want to explore exactly what we do here, because this is an open invitation to people that are relatively close. We are 30 minutes from Shreveport, 25 minutes from Marshall, 25 minutes from Jefferson. So you get an idea of where we're located. So if you are in our geographical reach and you are searching for something without the dogmatic stigmas of various religions, and you're looking for some spiritual guidance and some help, listen to Gil over the next 20 minutes or so and get a feel for him. And if you have resonance, if it feels right to you, then you are welcome to come out and join us. We would love to have you. And please watch to the end if this video is resonating with you so far.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kevin. And thank each and every one of you here. Thank us. And thank you for hosting this, for opening space for this. This is sacred work. For me, it's my life's mission. It's my life's work, celebration, vacation, and all of the above and the below coming together into these sessions. These I call trance sessions are designed to help us, to assist us, to guide us, to remember, to discover, to find, to reveal, to expose, and to become that which we are originally destined to become. And that may bring a question of, well, if that is the case, then why do we need a session? Aren't we already in that process naturally? The answer is yes and no. Yes, because everything is naturally moving in that direction of original destiny, the process of life itself, which is at the heart of life itself. Yet, if we understand the human condition and the program that has been controlling humanity here on Earth from the dawn of the history of humanity on Earth, then we will begin to understand that there is work to do and that there is a process that is counter-medicinal to the human condition and to the program that is implanted in our unconscious collective mind and in our subconscious individual minds. And this program is so ingrained in our psyche that psychologically, emotionally, and biochemically, it influences and impacts on every aspect of our life. And when we begin to understand that and look at it with sober eyes, we realize that in order for us to liberate ourselves from that program, we have to undertake a process. And this is the divine process. And this is the practice in those sessions. In those sessions, we provide information, tools, resources, techniques, exercises, and suggestions for each and every individual to take in and to explore and to go through an inner navigational process and to find the access point into that which I call the real. And so that comes to say that what we're experiencing here on the surface of the human arena is in fact a projected hologram, and it is a virtual reality. It is not real. And it's time that we begin to face that fact. And every human being will eventually have to face this. We can do it now, or we can do it later. And that's a choice. It's always a choice. Some are ready to do it now, and this is what we're here to engage with. And some are not, and that is absolutely allowed, and it is in divine order. But we're here to engage with this work, to walk the walk, to do what it takes, individually, uniquely, each and every one of us within ourselves, to liberate ourselves from that program, and to begin to activate what I call the blueprint of the real. In that we're aligning with the natural laws and principles of creation. And as we become channels and conduits to that alignment, we begin to transmit and broadcast the inner and higher vibrational frequencies of our real, sovereign, unlimited being. This is what we are here to teach ourselves, to share with one another, to encourage one another, and to support one another to undertake. Yet, it is a very personal and intimate process. Each and every individual ultimately will create their own way. And this is really what we are aiming for here. There is no indoctrination here. There is no organization. There is no Bible. There is no system. There is no method to this. This is a process that brings us to the present moment. And in the spontaneity of that moment, even though there is a framework, and it is becoming a very clear framework, yet it is open, flexible, and fluid. Because it is only in the present moment that spirit is surging and fermenting and emerging to express itself authentically. Yet there is a divine plan that we're all here moving with and through. It is the divine plan of our beloved source for creation. And we're all co-designing and co-creating and co-exploring and cohabitating the multiverse as agents of that divine plan. Yet we forgot here. And the program is designed to continue for us to focus on the physical three-dimensional, to focus on the projections of the ego mind, and it is based in the illusion of separation. And if you really, really are honest with yourself as a human being, when you look at your perceptions, when you look at your expressions, and when you look at your life experience and everything that you do in life, you will come to the realization that it is all based in the belief of separation. We are separating bodies in time and space. We have separated objects, things that we have. We have separated houses and homes. We have separated nations, tribes, families. Everything here is about separation. And no matter how you turn it, this is what you are perceiving. This is what is fueling and feeding our five senses. And our five senses are designed to perceive within that context. But as long as we continue to perceive in that context, we don't know the truth. We don't know who we are. We don't know what we are. We don't know the real story. If we only look at the history books and the stories that are told to us through these books, the mythologies and all the stories We don't know the truth. We know bits and pieces of the truth, but not the whole truth. And so here, in these sessions, we are learning together. I am not your master teacher. I am your equal brother. Each and every one of us here is our own master teacher. What I am guiding to, what I am directing to here in these sessions, as someone who is becoming increasingly more adept and skillful. And I've made it my life mission, and therefore developing this skill set to be able to guide us, each and every one of us, into the inner master, into that consciousness within us that knows, that can see the whole picture, that knows the whole truth, because it lives in wholeness. Yet it extended itself into this instrument we call human, so it can, through that instrument, experience separation. So that is already coming to say that separation is not by mistake. It's not that something is wrong with us, not at all. It's not that we fell out of grace somehow and got lost and it is a mistake or a glitch of the universe. No, it's not. It's all by design. It's all a part of a plan, of a master plan. And it's all a part of what I call a family project. We come here as a family, and we are here contributing to a family project that began when life began. And it will never end. But something here on this planet is coming to an end. And it is our responsibility, as we sober up, as we begin to awaken to what's really going on here, we are naturally taking on that responsibility to make sure that this is ending. Because if it doesn't, then we're going to carry the consequences. It is essential for us to understand that we are unwittingly, unconsciously practicing a process, the process of the program. And the program is designed to dictate to us how to think, how to feel, how to behave, and how to operate in this world. Even for those who consider themselves out of the box, really, really just open their way within that program. This program is multi-layered, it is interdimensional, it is not just physical, three-dimensional, it is also etheric, and it goes into the fourth dimension. It is astral, it is going into the mental realms of the human consciousness, and it is going all the way to reincarnation. That means that upon the expiration of this body, even when we leave this body, we're not out of that program. We're still moving into bigger rooms, into higher frequencies, but still within that program. Now, this is our co-creation. This is our responsibility. No one here is a victim or a tyrant. Really. If we look at it with sober and through the lens of our heart, then we can shift our perception from the dual glasses of the ego mind, which always projects separation and therefore always leads to deception, self-deception, self-sabotaging. The dichotomy that we're dealing with and the paradox here is that we created what we are not. I really suggest that you open your hearts and take it in. We created what we're not. And because we created it, because we're such powerful beings and creators, and we created it as a laboratory, we're running an experiment here. And it's all a part of the design. It's all a part of the program. It's all a part of the plan. in order for us to really learn and really develop mastery and knowledge and wisdom of who and what we are, which is a process, we created a cradle. We created a catalyst. And that's the illusion of separation. We created it as a catalyst in which we're going to get lost in and forget who we are, develop those sub-identities, that those bodies, those names that we call ourselves in, what we see in the mirror. This is not who we are. This is the instrument of experience that we are using here in this laboratory. Who we are is the consciousness who is observing it from outside of the program. It only sent an extension of itself that's enough to power those instruments, to give those instruments life force, enough to go about and to experience this projected hologram and movie. So we can really experience the unreal. And this is really a code that I am going to repeat as we do this work from different angles, because for the mind, it's impossible to wrap itself around such a concept. Only the heart and its intelligence can understand that. In order for us to be who we are, we must stop being who we are not. That is the process. That is the practice. Because we have become what we're not. And by design, purposefully. Through becoming what we're not and having that as an experience, we really experience it, and for us it is real. As humans, it is very real. Our mind makes it real. But for what we really are, for the consciousness, the soul, the spirit that we are, the force that we are, it's not real. No, it is a school of wisdom. It is a university of learning. It is a laboratory of experimenting and gaining the wisdom and the knowledge and developing and ultimately achieving mastery of who we really are. And once we achieve that mastery, and I call it the final dream, each and every one of us has a final dream, because we are living in a dream within a dream within a dream. And that's the program. We are sleeping and we are dreaming. Right now, we are. All of human history is a dream within a dream within a dream. But what is living outside of that dream is that which is awakened, and that which is a visionary, that which is observing and synthesizing and processing all of those experiences in a state of nowness and here-ness, non-time, non-space, non-form, in a state of wholeness and truthfulness. And therefore, it has no judgment of right or wrong, good or bad. Every experience we go through for us may be very painful, or it may be very pleasurable. But for what we really are, for our sovereign soul, it's neither nor. It's an experience through which we gain wisdom. But the time has come for us to awaken from this dream. And as we awaken, we are awakening from a dream within a dream within a dream, upon a dream, upon a dream, upon a dream. And until we come to the final dream. And when we come to the final dream is when we dream ourselves awake. As we dreamt ourselves asleep, so we shall dream ourselves awake. And when we do that, we finally become that which we are originally destined to become, which is a multidimensional, multifaceted, unlimited, all-inclusive, sovereign, unified, master, self-aware wholeness. This is the intent, purpose, and goal of life itself, and therefore the intent, purpose, and goal of those trance sessions. Those trance sessions are designed to give us information, tools, resources, and experiential practices in which we can detach, disengage, and unplug from the program and connect, deepen, and expand our connection with that which is real, and go about this counter-medicinal process. We become then the antidotes to the problem that we're facing. Why is it a problem? If we created it, and I said it's in divine order and it's designed purposefully, why is it a problem? It is becoming a problem when we don't recognize when it is no longer serving us. And the time is overdue for us to continue running that program. Every day that is passing, this program is becoming increasingly more toxic and poisonous for us. And it's our responsibility to say, stop, enough is enough, we're done. We must trust that the lessons are learned and the wisdom is gained, and it is available for us and waiting for us, but not in our human consciousness. We can never reach into and access and therefore utilize the wisdom and the knowledge and the lessons that we learned from all of that history and program unless we find access into our inner and higher, sovereign, unlimited self, that which we really are. This is where we go through that process of remembering, of accessing, of learning how to shut off the program and turn on the blueprint. And it is an inner process. It is essential for us to understand that the program is entraining us to be constantly externally reliant. And therefore, we are very easy to control and manipulate. It is a psychological hypnosis that is bombarding us from an electromagnetic cocoon that we don't see, but we are surrounded by it. It is half organic and half technological synthetic electromagnetic fields that through which we are constantly bombarded with these vibrational frequencies of separation. And we are projecting it from our unconscious minds into the screens of time-space, and it is reflected back to us by the physical three-dimensional reality. And everything we see is separated things in time and space. Pay attention, everything. And when we need something, we have to go and acquire it. We have to go and get it. When we want to eat, we have to go and get the food or grow it and harvest it. When we want to learn, we have to go and grab a book or take a course or go to a teacher or a school or a webinar, and then we're learning. We're constantly consuming from external sources for our survival. Pay attention. This is the program. In our natural, authentic habitat, which is the quantum, subquantum, and beyond, outside of time and space, and forms, physical forms, external, we are getting everything we need, everything from within. We are internally self-reliant, self-sufficient, and self-resourceful entities. That's a soul. And the soul is not a survivor. The soul is a creator. And the soul is learning through self-creation. It's not acquiring anything out there, it's inquiring in here. And this is what we are here to practice and to remember and to become increasingly more adapted. It is essential because the time has come. The new era is going to catalyze us. It's going to stimulate us. Things are going to continue to escalate and culminate. And you don't have to be a genius to look at the world and see that things are really getting intense. We must ask ourselves, where is it all going? What is our responsibility? How can we position ourselves so we become contributors to what's really going on here? Because ultimately where it's all going is that the old system is collapsing. It is breaking down and it is melting down. And it will continue. And therefore those that are in control, those that invested themselves heavily in that program, and they're also the programmers, but they're the most programmed also, are going to continue to tighten up the grip of control and manipulation and deception. And if we will continue to react in fear, which is exactly what it promotes fear, anxiety, stress, alarming, there's always a problem, and we're reacting, and a solution needs to come. And who is going to come with the solution? Of course, those that created the problem to begin with. More and more people are awakening to that fact. Question is, what do we do as individuals? Before we go out there to become activists, which is wonderful, I really encourage, how do we become inner activists first? This is what I call the inside job. This is what I've dedicated my life to bring to the table, because it is the most fundamental and it is one of the key codes ingredients in the success of us as a human family, of liberating ourselves once and for all and awakening from that dream of separation into the reality of unity. And that will give rise to a new culture. There is a newly emerging culture out of the collapsing of the old cultures, separated cultures that are constantly in competition, in conflict, and in war. And what's going to rise out of the ashes of these old cultures, this old system, is a new culture. It is a spiritual, sovereign, soulful culture of a free and unified humanity. It is a robust culture that is anchored at our core identity, that is heart-centered and divine love-based, and therefore bringing sustainable solutions and healing to the problems and to the traumas and to the brokenness and dysfunctionality of humanity. This is what these transitions are about. This is the overarching family project that we're all a part of, and this is why Spirit brought us together here. Every time I go into a session, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't have a plan. I'm not writing down bullet points or say, oh, I'm going to say that, I'm going to do that. None of that. I have a framework that I'm constantly co-creating with the source, that I'm learning from my own sovereign soul, and allow Spirit to constantly bring it, and I translate it into languages of this world. And I'm co-creating it with the beloved, which is all of us, whether we know it or not. Our soulhood is co-creating this. But when I come, I always come empty. I empty my mind of all thought. And this way, I know I keep it clean. My ego, mind, personality is out of the way. And I allow Spirit to come through. I'm going into a trance, and I know that whatever is going to come for that session is going to be perfect for that session. That's what keeps it clean. If I come with a plan, I'm missing the point, because then it's going to go into a structure, and that's very easy for the ego to take and ride. It's very easy for the program to hijack and run with it and make it another dogma. This is not a religion. This is not an organization. This is not a Methodist system. There's no guru here. There's no master here. But us, each and every one of us, is the master. Each and every one of us is through the volunteering spirit of truly listening and resonating with what is streamed here, to realize, yes, this is important. If this is important enough for us, then we're just gonna constantly volunteer to go about and continue to co-create in that fashion until we lay our hearts and souls on the table with one another and become fully transparent. And that's going to bring the healing. That's going to bring the restoration. And that's going to bring the community that we really want to create here. And that's going to give rise to the world that we really want to live in. That our children can run free and play, and we don't have to worry